everybody, Lee here, and welcome to the pull list for January 21st, 2015, presented by Longbox Radio. This week we got, it looks like, 7 books, 3 from DC, starting with Batman Eternal number 42. Harper Row successfully circumvents the Mad Hatter's crazy plans here. Batman shows up like 30 seconds too late to the show, thankfully, because he probably would have just been infected by the nanovirus. But yeah, so she's looking like she's going to join the roster of Bat Friends to hopefully take down whomever it is the Mad Hatter and Hush are both working for in Batman Eternal. And Selina Kyle shows up at the end. There's going to be some crazy stuff going on. Justice League number 38. So we have Batman, who is now infected with the metavirus, which gives regular humans superpowers and is supposed to take superpowers away from superhumans, made by Lex Luthor. So they find Patient Zero. They bring him in. His blood's useless because he's like anybody else, and Lex reveals to Superman that, hey, I infected you with this 4 years ago and it didn't do anything, but your blood might have antibodies because, thankfully, Kryptonians kind of work like us on the inside, except they get superpowers when exposed to the sunlight. So Batman kind of manifests some weird bat powers, and he's got, like, superpowered echolocation and stuff, and at the end of this, everybody's zombies. So good stuff. I don't know, not bad. I'm kind of warming up to this story arc, as it were. We go over to number 38, which is Supergirl, who had the casting for Supergirl, the television show, which is apparently a thing, got announced today. I haven't read this book yet, but we have Supergirl at the Crucible, kind of dealing with her own team of super friends, learning how to be a crazy, awesome warrior. She's got a new belt that has lights on it, so that's pretty cool. The Wicked and the Divine, this is issue 7, I believe? Yes, it is, from Kieran Gillen and Jane McKelvey, of course. Kind of a cool issue. They go to a Pantheon, which is like it's like the London Comic Convention, but for fans of like the Pantheon of Gods. I think it was kind of cool. Some neat happenings in here. This is Woden on the cover here, who runs the Valkyries, I believe, is his deal. Kind of looks like Daft Punk-esque outfit going on. Cool stuff. They talk about the Prometheus Gambit in this, which is if you kill a god, you can take their powers, which, of course, our main character is kind of dealing with, hey, does she have superpowers or not? Because she lit a cigarette that one time, so we'll find out what happens. The Wicked and the Divine, number 7. Check it out. So, we have The Amazing Spider-Man. This is part 5 of Spider-Verse. This is issue 13, and honestly, it's probably the best issue of Spider-Verse yet. Except they did something I don't like with tie-ins, and that is, as of the end of the last issue, it's like, oh man, things are dire, the spiders are dead, this is going to be terrible, how can you defeat an enemy that can continuously clone themselves and is immortal and therein? So the first page of this, you have an aside that's like, hey, I know you didn't read it in Scarlet Spider, which I didn't, but hey, you know, Kane went and destroyed the cloning facility, so that's not a problem anymore, and now the spiders are making their last stand against the enemies. Kane goes full, like, Spider-Man. And some cool stuff goes down in this book. I don't know, the comedy and the levity that has been throughout the other parts of the series has kind of been taken out, and it's just kind of an ass-kicking bunch of Spider-Men teaming up, fighting an enemy together. There's a cool moment in this, too, where Otto Octavius, as the superior Spider-Man, kind of realizes that the Peter Parker who's kind of taking control here is not from previously in the timeline, but after he loses to Peter and becomes a nothingness as Peter Parker regains his body. So, kind of cool stuff. I don't know what they're going to do with that, spinning out of it. And, of course, we learned with Secret Wars going on that eventually some of this stuff probably won't matter, or who knows what's going to happen. Anyways, Guardians of the Galaxy number 23, also a really cool issue that nothing really happens in, but we have a really cool cover here of Rock Raccoon. He has little to do with the book, as it's all about the symbiotes and their planet. And I've forgotten the name they call themselves, but basically, if you read the last issue, Drax is taken over by the symbiote. He flies the Guardians of the Galaxy in their ship all the way to the symbiote planet, where you learn they're actually a bunch of cool guys. Apparently, like any symbiotes you see outside, they are corrupted by those they bond with. So when you have the Carnage symbiote bonding with someone like Cletus Cassidy, who's got chemical imbalances in his brain and stuff, that symbiote just goes nuts and starts lying and whatever. So apparently there's supposed to be like space warriors that attach themselves to like willing and able like combatants that just go out and be heroes across the galaxy. Cool stuff. So the symbiotes, cool guys. They take Eugene Thompson, Flash Thompson's symbiote, and they cleanse it. They give it back to him. He's got full control of it now. It's bonded with him. He's like some super badass Space Knight now. Not a Space Knight, but you know what I mean. Not like Rom or something like that. I think that's kind of cool. The new outfit looks kind of neat. I don't know, again, how much of this sticks going into the new continuity or whatever, but kind of a cool issue, and it's a cool take on the symbiote. So if you're a fan of Spider-Man, I even recommend checking this out, just because it's a big origin story for the symbiotes and how they work and whatnot. And Venom's now thoroughly a good guy, a good symbiote, as it were. So, neat stuff. Moon Knight, number 11. Last issue, we had a assassination attempt at the UN building, which Mark Spector was able to circumvent. However, he got beat up by a bunch of cops, and he doesn't have his Moon Knight powers, whatever those are. So, we'll find out what happens. Here, he's taking on a SWAT team, so maybe things turn out okay for him. Who knows? Anyways, there's 3 free digital codes. Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Moon Knight all have these, so you can check those out at the end of the show. They'll all be posted. And then tomorrow we have the Loot Crate being posted, which is from January, so look for that as well. Happy reading, and we'll see you again next week for the next pull list.